All praises to the Most High. I'm waiting for some to come in. Thank you for joining for this last live session today. We said we were going to put on 7, and this is the 7th one. All praises to Yahshua HaMashiach and Yahweh Most High for giving me this directive to bring these lives to you. I know it's a couple of hours early this time. This is my, preparation day, so the Lord put in my spirit, go ahead and put that on so you can get your other things done later. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about joy. And this morning, like a couple of the other ones, the Most High just visited me as I'm waking up, and He gave me what He wanted to give to His holy chosen children, burnt bronze sons and daughters, and anyone who is willing to humble themselves, surrender, and understand and receive that we are the chosen Hebrew children, the burnt bronze sons and daughters, and Yeshua HaMashiach is one of us. I believe that anybody who believes that, no matter what race you are, and who can actually fight that devil and humble themselves to that truth, something switches in the invisible. Something within them switches. Because actually it's anyone who doesn't receive the truth from the Word of God, especially the truth about what Yeshua HaMashiach looked like, burnt bronze skin with hair like wool. It's a form of Antichrist. You're really saying, I don't want that part of the Bible. I only want what I want out of the Bible, and then the rest of it, I get rid of it. So that's sort of the Antichrist spirit. So whoever you are, no matter what race you are, because the word says there are going to be others beside God's holy chosen people that are going to be allowed in, right? But the holy chosen people, the burnt bronze holy chosen people, will be the ones in charge, more or less, guiding and directing the others. But if you can humble yourself, welcome to you too. If you can humble yourself to the truth, you're all welcome. All right, praise be to the Most High. I see some people coming in, so we're going to get started. Joy. Oh my gosh. It says the joy of the Lord is strength. And let me pray. Yeshua, help me to give children, because it's so crucial. All of these have been important from your standpoint. May your people's heart be prepared and ready to receive what you have for them and be blessed by it. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I pray. Yamin Ora. Yamin, not Amen. It's really Yamin, but that's another story. Okay, so let's get on with it. The joy of the Lord is truly your strength. We sort of brush that off because we hear it so much in church. But let me tell you about something about Satan. The one thing he can't crack is virtue and joy. When you have joy, he can't crack that egg. He's always looking, trying to figure out how to crack in and make people lost, broken, cast down, busted. He's always looking for inroads. But when you're joyful and you see life in a different perspective, no matter what's going on outside, he can't crack that. And that makes you stronger and more able to handle coming up in life or that you experience in life. Okay. He said this morning, to make you to hear this, and it's going to sound a little strange. He said, hold my people accountable for their own joy. I'm going to say that again. This is what he said. Hold my people accountable for their own joy. You got to take accountability for your own joy. You can't wait for a president. You can't wait for a community. You can't wait for friends, family to bring you joy. You got to take it like a bandit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to show you what I mean in a second. I'll holler at a few people. I hear Nolan Sebastian. He said, Nolan Sebastian 9126, he said, what was one time you, God, was there for you? God, I don't know exactly what he meant, but I know I've had a lot of experiences where he was there for me. Maybe we'll discuss some later. Then someone called Nor M61W. I said, hi, how are you? Welcome to all of you. All praises to the Most High. Okay, so I'm going to say that one more time. The Most High said this morning, hold my people accountable for their own joy. We've got to start taking life in our own hands. Wait for government officials, friends, people, family to give us joy. Because guess what? You living in a second layer of hell. In other words, Satan took over the earth. He made sure, he said, you know what, I'm going to put so much pressure, stress, and anxiety on the God's people that they just forget about being happy. They feel like it's an impossible mountain to climb, and I got them. You know, even a lot of people, good people, maybe have a disappointment in their family or someone hurt them, and then from then on they're angry, they're resentful, and they turn into a weapon of Satan themselves because they forgot I'm the one that I'm in control through the Most High to have my own joy. Next. Okay. And here's some of the things that take your joy away. Fear, jealousy, lack, ambition, anger at someone who you feel did you wrong. Just like I said, some people, there go my aircon. Some people are still walking around angry at parents. They 40, 50 years old. They still angry at parents because parent didn't give them something. Parent was monkeying up. A parent was young and made mistakes while they were children. And I'm not talking about abuse and stuff. That's different. I'm talking about, you know, things that they felt like the parent didn't give them or wasn't this or wasn't that. And yet maybe they ain't even been parents yet. So they don't even know what trials they're going to have to fight themselves. So all of these things bring us into this negative, dark place of, I ain't got no joy. And it's because of you. And it's because of you. And because of that. And because of this. That's a lie. Long as you can walk, talk, breathe, and hear, and have your right mind, you have all the tools you need to bring joy into your life and block out all of those things Satan is making you distract to anger or malice or whatever you have, right? Okay. I want to tell you, it seems like ever since I've been young, oh yeah, he had to take a few of them edges off of me if I'm on, you know, do you in because you done me wrong. But ever since I was young, I had this sort of joy, and he had to teach me how to use it in the right way. Because some people think joy is going out and partying, having a good time, and all night long. Yeah, that's Satan overlaying what you were, your character of joy and happiness version. That don't work either. So don't think I'm talking about that because I'm not. Okay. Little story. When COVID was going full blast in America, full blast, and they were locking everything down. Y'all stay at home unless you just got to go to the grocery store and, you know, for essential things, and don't go out because of COVID. Wear your mask and all. Something in me like, oh, no. You can't take my joy like that. You can't just steal it and act like you doing me a favor, right? My son and I think he was like 17. I said, you know, something in my heart was telling me to go ahead and start that trip from North Carolina, you know, on to California. And we didn't have a place we were going to stay. I had an older son. You know, he was living with friends, you know, visiting with friends and stuff. And so the Lord had already told me to take the younger son, you know, out of America. So that was going to be sort of that first jump, right? But COVID was full blast, and they were telling you what you couldn't do. And I said, oh, no. Honey, we got in that car. We got our little stuff together, our little ducks together, our little money. We packed up, said bye to my dad. I knew it would be the last time I saw him. I knew it. I knew it would be. He was a good man. Good man. Lived into his 90s. But that's another story. We packed up. We got in there. We took our 3,500-mile road trip. Hardly wasn't many people on the road, but we had a blast because there wasn't many people. Go into stores, eat your food, go stop by, you know, that's when I was eating, you know, fast food. We rode on into California, happy, laughing, had fun, music playing, you know, I'd be playing my little music, then my son click on here, and I'm like, oh, no, we can't play that. But the point I'm trying to make, we took our joy. We could have said, oh, we can't go nowhere. Oh, they done locked us down. They said, you can't go nowhere except to the grocery store. Yeah, right. Okay, but we went on. We had a good time, and God supplied our needs, miracles and wonders. Like I said, usually how it works is when you start stepping out on that faith yourself, then God will start boom, 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 giving you like, yeah, go ahead, babies, you're on the right track. Now I'm gonna help you. Okay, now, emotional wrecking. That's one of the things that take our joy away. When we have that emotional, I call it emotional wrecking, where maybe we watch stuff on TV or somebody, we have some kind of interaction with that didn't go right, and for the rest of the day we just seem unhappy, moody. This person just took my, no. Refuse to give yourself over to what I call emotional wrecking, where maybe that person didn't call and they said they were going to call, and it gets on your mind and you worry, did I say something the day before? Did I do something? And your mind just keeps going on for days worrying about maybe that person's phone is busted, right? But Satan knows how to use our own mind to wreck our joy and our peace. And we got to take it like a bandit. You got to say, you know what? I don't know what's going on with so-and-so and so-and-so. I haven't did anything that I know. If I have, Lord, reveal it to me. Otherwise, I'm happy. I'm going on with joy. You got to take it. Satan is not going to give it to you. And he's always working on people to, some of them don't even know that they're doing things to take it. So you got to say, you know what? I can't get mad at so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm just going to go on and enjoy my day and my life, right? Okay. We are not slaves. We are free. Now, just like I told you about that trip, leaving North Carolina and driving that, cross-country trip when everything was told to be locked down. They ain't my master. That man is not my maker. I heard that song when I was flying to Hawaii one time. Lord was saying, that man is not your maker. And I don't even listen to that song. That's sort of like a worldly song. That man is not your maker. You know that one. But it's true. We have allowed ourselves to become so constricted by Satan, the dragon, the serpent. And notice how he constricts. He tightens around the prey. A boa tightens. He just keeps tightening to that little prey. And he eventually suffocates him and swallows him. But we have to remember that man is not our maker. We are free. We are not slaves anymore. We ain't got chains on our arms and legs. So there's no reason why we should be locked by fear, anxiety, and trepidation because God is telling us to do something. We're saying, well, I can't because so-and-so ain't gonna like it. So no, your first responsibility is to the Most High. It's not to anybody else. It's first to Him. Now, He ain't gonna let you forget about your responsibilities to your family and your children, but your first responsibility is to Him. Then He's gonna tell you and help you understand what you need to do for them or not do. Right? I'm gonna get into that in a minute. Right? And seek Yahweh on what that looks like and what you need and what you don't need. Because sometimes what you think you need to get something done is not actually what you need, right? Okay, so stay out of other people's business. Oh God, today, especially with, the internet, our phones, all kind of gossip going on. And I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of that stuff today is purposely engineered by the creatures, the fallen angels and the fallen angel hybrids through the pagans to keep you so locked in on nonsense stuff that you're not even paying attention to what's going on. Things are collapsing, right? It's like the frog. You hear about the frog sitting in the water and they turn the heat up little by little, but the frog don't even know the water's getting hot, so he don't jump out until it's too late, right? So this internet now, you can see AI is bombarding it. In the last 2 years, it's come up so high like a river, slow but steady, to the point we're so caught up in people's business. Oh, did you hear about so-and-so? You'll spend several hours listening to negative, sad, broken news, and not just news, I'd say at least 50 to 70% of that stuff you're watching now with AI generated stuff is totally made up. If you sometimes you can go and check and see, is this story true? You look up, that ain't even true. So what they're doing is the creatures, the fallen angel hybrids, is they're purposely keeping you focused on negative, evil things so that your joy will just dissipate. You won't hear from the Most High because he's not going to be fighting for your attention. Either you're going to give him some or you're going to be without it and you the loser. But the point is, you got to understand, stay out of other people's business. In the old days when they didn't have phones, it was Sister So-and-so going to house telling somebody's business. Today, it's not just that. It's your phones. It's your computer. You're listening to all kind of gossip about people that don't care nothing about you, don't know you, and don't care. And you worried about putting your little comments in there about what they did or didn't do. Some people don't care. So let's stay out of other people's business. That's one way to keep your joy. Okay. Oh God. We're having a few problems with our internet. Hopefully it's going to start back. We'll check out. Okay, we had a little problem with our internet, but we're going to keep on going. Okay, next. We are very emotional people. Now, women are very emotional people, and we have to work a little harder than men because we're emotional. We were created that way to be protectors of young children, our babies when they're young. But you got to learn when you grow older and those children are older, you need to stay out of their business. Let them handle their own problems, unless it's something, endangering their lives or something like that. Stay out of it, because that's taking your joy in your latter years when you should be enjoying yourself. You should be just rolling with the Lord, whatever he's guiding you to do. Stay out of the business. Women tend to be a little bit more emotional as we grow older, and we don't know how to let go. And that's one thing you have to pray and ask the Lord about, because Satan knows how to use our emotion, let's say, like weaponize our emotions, right? Good emotions. I love my son. I love my daughter. They moved over there. They live over there. But he'll weaponize it to where you calling every day. What y'all doing? Business. Getting in their business. Or talking to them about their wife or husband. No, you let them work out their own problems. And if you decide, okay, I'm going to give them some advice, let both of them be present when you give the advice, right? Not godly advice, don't do it at all, right? Or if you just are talking to that son or daughter, your son or daughter, about their husband or wife, make sure it's godly centered advice. Nothing emotional, your dislikes, your don't likes. That's just pulling you into a storm that's going to take your joy, right? And take your health. All right. Like I said, having joy confuses Satan. He don't know what to deal. He don't know how to deal with you when you got joy, when he done throwed something at you, right? He done caused a problem, and you keep singing, you keep going to do something for yourself, maybe go and take a walk. He don't know how to handle that, and then he have to go on. But when you get like, yeah, did you see what she did? And be murmuring and mumbling, he's like, I done cracked that egg. Let me go on in and take out the yolk now. See what I'm saying? Okay. Look for joy in everything, or something good in a bad situation, right? I know that sounds easy, and that ain't easy, because some things are so traumatic and hard. It's hard to look for the joy in it. But what I'm trying to say is, there's always, if we're God's chosen people, or if we're just servants of the Most High, just like he said, everything that happens, God's in control, right? So what you have to do is you have to say, well, okay, either he's trying to teach me something, or he's trying to make me get out of something that ain't good for me. So I'm going to look for the good in it. What he's showing me that's a blessing, maybe you wouldn't have seen otherwise, right? I'll tell you a short one about me. And this guy, I think, asked about that. Tell me something that's happening. 2000, no, 2000. I was in the hospital getting ready to have my last baby, the baby. He's 25 now. And what happened was, you know the story in the video a long time ago. What happened was it was emergency. After he was delivered, but he wasn't breathing, blah, blah, blah. And I was in this deep place where they didn't know, they didn't give me anesthesia, where they gave me major surgery after, because I was basically hemorrhaging to death. So they had to do major surgery. I'm going to cut you open like a pig, right? So I'm going down in this deep place, feeling all this pain and this, just like going up into the heavens and coming back through my body, cutting me all to pieces. I could feel everything. I could hear them talking. I could do everything. But God gave me the strength to endure. And what was the joy out of that? I couldn't tell you while I was in it, because I was down. I could see darkness of death. It was alive. I could feel it. I would come back up and be conscious again. I could hear them talking, the nurses and the doctors. I'd go back down in this place where it was moving this. I never saw no demons or nothing, so I wasn't in hell. Don't think that. But the point I'm trying to make, when I woke up the next morning on a respirator, breathing in my mouth, breathing for me, I couldn't even remember I had a baby. That's how the struggle was. And Yahweh was right there. I could feel him in the room. But the point I'm trying to make is, when I woke up and finally they took the respirator out and I found out I had a baby, right? All the nurses and the doctors heard about it. That, oh my God, she was awake for 3.5 hours of surgery. So they came. Nurses would be tearing. The doctors sort of tearing. I'm like, it's all right. You know what? There was the joy. I told myself I'm glad to be alive. I heard y'all working and fighting for my life. It's all right. I was just happy. I got a baby. I don't have a cycle anymore, because they had to clip a little bit in there to stop the bleeding. So from the time I was 40 till I'm in my 60s now, I don't have a cycle. So God showed me the blessings that I wouldn't have seen and the joy of what I had. Even the doctor told me, she said, you do understand, right, that what you experienced was like going to Vietnam. I said, yeah, but I'm thankful. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to have my child. So the joy of the Lord is something you have to take. You can't let Satan just tell you what joy is. You got to take it, right? Like a bandit, an armed bandit, okay? In my life, he's shown me through hardships, through trouble, through lack. You got to take Yeshua's hand and let him lead you on into the sunset. Because there's always going to be something new. Like I told you, he's the good shepherd. And a shepherd ain't just standing around on the farm with his arms folded saying, y'all go on out there, you sheep. Y'all, you do what you want to. If the wolf gets you, go on. He is the good shepherd that's not only protecting you and keeping you safe, he's leading you physically, mentally, spiritually to new pastures. And if you give up and get angry in that little, limited area you're in or whatever you're going through, you're going to miss the future of that new pasture that Yeshua HaMashiach is leading you to. And I truly believe if we look at America as the farthest way from home, so like the prodigal son, you know the story about the prodigal son and how it said he went off into a far strange land, right? And of course they must have had pigs there. And in those days you knew, oh, that means he didn't stay in a Hebrew town. He went to a pagan land because Hebrews didn't eat pork, right? Unclean, nasty. So you knew the prodigal son must have went far away into a pagan European country. Said he spent all his money on whoring and whatever they had to offer, Think of that as America, right? Think of that as Babylon. We're far away from the temple of the Most High, the true temple, his throne in Jerusalem. And so, as the good shepherd, he's trying to lead us back home. What did that boy say? The prodigal son. And he was probably working for a white man. And the white man told him, feed them pigs. But why was he so hungry about getting down there to eat with pigs? Because that pagan man wasn't paying him and probably wasn't giving him hardly anything to eat, but was wanting him to work himself to death, work like a dog. Ain't that Babylon? Work yourself to death and still can't make it, paycheck to paycheck, right? So this young man is looking down at these pigs grubbing this food, which was mixed with feces and a little everything, and he was about ready, desperate enough to fall down in there and eat with the pigs. But see, we gotta say, hold up, my father's home. Where I belong, he has everything I need. He's the good shepherd, and he's trying to lead me out of this filthy, unclean, pig-eating people to a better life. And now that I am one of the awakened, I want to go there. I believe what the word says. You know, the word in Isaiah and a couple of other places tell you how it's going to be when his children return. How he's going to make it such a beautiful place. And, you know, green grass and water and trees giving off, you know, abundance of fruit and all these things. So we have to believe what his word says and no longer want to settle for what that owner, the pig man, is trying to give us or trying to make us settle. He's trying to make us settle because he wants our next generation, which basically I don't think, if you're talking about 10, 20, 30 more years for America, no. It's falling right now. But what Satan always wants is that next generation. And if he can get you to bow down and be so stressed out, so broken that you don't have joy and peace, then he can keep you sort of confused about what you can and can't do. Oh, I can't do this. Just like I told you about the trip. I could have did like a lot of people. Oh, we can't drive nowhere. We're not supposed to go nowhere. They told us don't go nowhere unless it's, who are they? Who is they? They? Who are they? They are the same people that enslaved your mothers, well, some of your mothers, but your great-grandmothers, your grandmothers, and your grandfathers, your great-uncles and aunts. These are the same people that you're listening to tell you what to do with your body, what to do with your children, what to do with your futures. No, that ain't good enough. I'm telling y'all, take your joy like a bandit. And that means even if there's someone that's in your life that's giving you trouble, won't do right, get away from them. Whether it's children, family, friends, start backing away. Ask God what to do, how to handle this situation. Don't just settle for the nonsense, right? You're giving your joy away. You're giving it away little by little. And ask the Most High because his version of joy for you is different from the version you may have been taught in America. Well, most of us don't even know what really makes us happy, right? Until you get there to that happy place. I know this for sure for me. I have learned that what I thought was happiness was just mediocre. But what Yeshua HaMashiach had for me when I followed him as the good shepherd, leading me to better pastures, then my eyes was open to my own joy and my own peace. And when you have joy and when you have peace, you can think, you can move, and you can love in a different way. Okay, we'll holler at some people. Juso Peachy, glad you could join us. And who else? Danny Music, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Juso Peachy, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, she said, I can see your joy. Yes, Lord. Don't be a prisoner to nothing and no one. Don't be a prisoner. And that don't mean, I'll go out and run out and leave my husband or my wife and go party. No, that means he didn't create you to be abused, rejected, hurt, and broken. He blessed you with this life. And you came into this life with some rights. Don't let the world take the rights away. Let's see who else we're looking at here. Ronald Hosey, shalom. Thank you for joining us. Let's see who else. Nolan Sebastian, thank you. 9126. I'm so grateful that you all could join me because I know the Most High has led you here, right? And it's not just me. God is speaking through a lot of people to help us to be delivered from sorrows, disappointment, brokenness, but we have to follow the Good Shepherd. I'm going to go now. My time is up. I'm a few seconds over 30, but I hit the mark. Thank you so much for joining me, especially for this 7 days. Try to go back and watch those others because it was a command from the Most High to you, his chosen holy people, and to anyone who is submissive to the truth. I give Yahweh and Yeshua all the glory and praise. May you have a blessed evening, day, morning, whatever. Remember, take your joy like a bandit, an armed bandit, because Satan fights you like a bandit. Okay? All right. Goodbye. Take care.